Hello, how are you doing, my Facebook tribe? This is Intention Tuesday at 10 a.m. with Kimberly Crawford. I am so excited that you have taken 10 minutes out of your day to join us in focusing our attention and intention to manifest magic. And today, our magic will be really honed in on giving ourselves permission to show up for the life that we want. So a lot of our practices seem simple, right? But yet not always easy. But before we really dive into our work, we're going to get in our bodies, right? Does that sound good? Fantastic. All right. Well, let's begin with shaking out our hands, right? And I'd like you to put them together and begin to create some friction. When they get nice and hot, we're going to put them on our chest, okay? We're going to get that chi moving. All right? You feel it? Fantastic. Ooh, good. I'll place it on our chest and take some intentional deep breaths in. In through your nose. Let it go. Okay, now we're not going to breathe from the top of our lungs. We've practiced long enough to pull down from the bottom of our bellies, and we're going to make a breath baby. Ready? Allow that belly just to stick out there. Make it as big as you can. Really feel up. And then when you can't hold anymore, hold it. Really become aware of those lungs being tight. Now blow it out. Okay, we're going to do one more. Ready? Really breathe in that nourishing air, pulling yourself further into your body, anchoring yourself down, right? Filling up those lungs to max capacity, feeling the vibrancy. Here we go. Make that breath, baby. Fill out the bottom of that belly. Hold it. Drop those shoulders. Let it go. Good. Sometimes when our heart is transitioning, activating, and you have a lot of shifting happening in your body, I suggest you really mindfully activate that chi in your hands, right? These are like our healing paddles. And place them on your heart and apply light pressure, right? You're activating all these beautiful meridians, right, to help you release grief. You're also holding your heart. You're reminding your heart that you are always held by the divine. And for those of us that are extremely mental and like to live right about up here, feels safer to live outside of our bodies in a gentle, graceful way. It brings you right back into your body, right? We often do this with little kids instinctively, right? You're patting them on the back or patting them on the chest, just calming their spirit, calming their soul. So let's do that for ourselves today, right? As we become more embodied. Very good. Know that you are in sacred space. I've called in God Source, what I call my people or spirit squad, our ancestors, the elements, the non-physical energies that are helping. Their job is here to support our transition and expansion, right, on our spiritual journey. And so let's get into our meditation today. Are you ready? All right. So this intention came about because of a discussion I had with my son Jax, and he was lamenting that he felt too young to get a job and felt like he had to wait to meet life, right? That he had to kind of wait and follow the program that was set in front of him, and he had to be at least 16 years old because that was a law where he could go out and hold a position that would pay him money, right? And I told him that's absolutely one way, but there are many ways to show up in your life. And if there's something that you want, you can forge your own path and create a new way. And we began to talk about how to show up in your life and what that means. So let's dive into what we figured out. Well, we know that we're entering this new era, right? A new normal, as we say. And it's a time in our lives where we're learning to move in a very deliberate, clear fashion, a very personal way. And this demands that we know ourselves on a very authentic and deep level. And in doing so, in knowing the essence of who we are able to co-create with very clear intent. We realize now more than ever that our thoughts and actions are powerful, right? It's like magic when you are clear and focused and in alignment. Then what you think about, what you talk about, the actions that you take, it happens so quickly. It releases that resistance when we're clear. So last week we practiced honoring life and new beginnings, and this practice is an expansion of that. We're deepening that lesson on how to be more present in this new emergent energy. So I've got a question for you. Is your heart calling you to explore maybe a new career, a new friend group, maybe a new place to live? Home may not be where you're stationed right now, but it may be a new state or country, continent. Maybe you're thinking of entertaining a new hobby or starting something new that is like so what you would think of as outlandish before, but you just can't get it out of your mind, right? Whatever you're being summoned and called to do, it's our responsibility to fulfill that request from our soul. It's not anybody else's responsibility but ours to show up for ourselves, right? But how do we do this? How do we shift out of our habitual actions and our habitual thoughts so we can expand into our heart's desire? Well, we must decide to belong in that new space and commit to showing up. When we activate ourselves in this way, that space unfolds for us. And this is co-creation with God Source. This is manifestation with a universe that exists to work with you and you with it. It's not about waiting for permission or recognition from the external. Now, as we've been on this journey, we've realized this is an internal job. This is an internal journey, right? That our soul is walking on. And we must give ourselves that permission. We must be that empowered person right now before we can exist or have that new experience on the vibratory plane that we desire. And when we decide to show up, no matter our level of readiness or lack of readiness, then that's when the divine magic happens. All right, so are you ready to invoke inspired action? Are you ready to courageously step into our sovereign power and partner with Source to claim our space? Know that we are worthy, we are capable, and we are supported. Okay, so mantra number 21 is, I welcome a deeper understanding of who I am. I choose to step into my personal power, and I am dedicated to my expansion. Okay, I'm going to set the timer. Today we have some new music by Akash Gandhi. Found something really inspirational for us, and I'll talk you through it. Let's begin. I welcome a deeper understanding of who I am. I choose to step into my personal power. I am dedicated to my expansion. Right now, we are aligning our frequencies and retuning to that of empowerment. I would like you to really focus on your heart center today and allow your heart to step forward and be in charge of your inspired action, right? Allow your heart to really be at the helm and offer directions to your mind. So then your mind may be that general to carry out that heart's desire, because that is how we are really created to operate. This right here, the heart mind, is the one that is translating our instructions from the divine, right? From our soul, from our higher self. And in order to lift up and rise, we've got to shift from the mental state and be in the heart state of intelligence, right? And allow that wisdom to unfold. So stay in that heart space. And I'd like you to imagine yourself completely whole, completely healthy. Imagine yourself in a state of complete well-being. And just hold that image of yourself in your mind. And if you're having a hard time envisioning yourself in that state, that's okay. Hold, if you can, conjure a feeling of well-being that you've felt in the past, and then bring that to this present moment. That feeling of competency, that feeling of clarity. We've been in situations where we've known exactly what we want. We felt like a clear path forward, maybe not knowing exactly how to get there, but it didn't matter because that desire was so strong. We knew we were going to figure it out. We had faith in ourselves. We had faith in the moment. We had faith in the all there isness, that we were going to be able to realize and actualize our desire. And that's what we're doing now. We're giving ourselves permission to show up for the life that we want. We are empowering ourselves, not waiting for anything external to say, it's your time to leave this job and go get something new. It's your time to start this business, or waiting for your spouse to be as excited as you about this new endeavor. That's not their job. Their job is to be the mirror, to offer contrast, or even possibly resistance or curiosity. But it's your job to be clear about what you want to experience in this life. So as you hold that full picture of well-being in your heart, that full empowered version of yourself, what messages is your heart delivering for you? What is it offering? What are the instructions that you are being called to step forward into? And this may be a scary feeling, and it may not be 100% clear. You may just have a glimpse, and that is okay too. The more you practice this, the more clear you will become. And know that you have help. Always, always access to help. I welcome a deeper understanding of who I am. I choose to step into my personal power, and I am dedicated to my expansion, knowing that as I expand, so does everyone around me. I expand for the greater good of all. So allow that feeling of well-being and empowerment and confidence and courage to fill every cell of your body. Now I'd like you to hold an image in your entire torso of a candle. This candle's about this big. And the wick is ignited with this bright light. As you breathe in and breathe out, the illumination grows and begins to expand beyond your body and out into the room that you're in. An illumination of stepping into your power, calling in that prosperity, that abundance, that peace, knowing that our most powerful acts are one of love and compassion. And today we're starting with ourselves. How can we take compassionate action to show up for the life that we want? I welcome a deeper understanding of who I am. I am ready. Show me. Show me the essence of who I am. I am ready to unfold like that flower, like that sacred lotus. And I choose to step into my personal power. I know I am strong. I am worthy. I am an aspect of the divine, and I'm ready to walk my soul's path. I am dedicated to my expansion. I know that discipline and consistency are the way of showing up for myself and for the greater good. I know that my frequency is empowerment. And as I empower myself, I am not afraid to empower others, knowing there's more than enough, always. As we relax into our last minute, continue to allow that candle to illuminate your soul, to move out into the space that you are occupying, illuminating that connection between heaven and earth that you are, sending that abundance of energy into the core of the earth as you are grounded and rooted, connecting that energy out up into the sun, shining your light, not just globally, but you are a galactic being. So shine that light out into the universe, illuminating all of the planets, illuminating the galaxy, taking your place among the stars. You realize how big and amazing you are? These last 13 seconds, begin to move down into your body. I welcome a deeper understanding of who I am. I choose to step into my personal power, and I am dedicated to my expansion. And that is 10 minutes. My goodness. I hope this was an empowered feeling that you are full of and overflowing, so you can step into this world feeling energized and activated. As I prepare to do these meditations, sometimes I use sound to get into the space, and sometimes I use smell, and other times I use oracle cards. And today I asked for help using sacred geometry. And this card is called Love and Power. Can you see that? There we go. And Love and Power represents intentional balance, the yin and the yang. And I just wanted to read a little passage that really struck me and helped to really enliven me this morning. And it said, "We must be willing to accept responsibility for our actions and our thoughts and use our power wisely, as power to, not power over. In doing so, we will usher in an age of peace and enlightenment when humans no longer act from greed and anger, but find the most powerful acts to be acts of love that come directly from their hearts." So as you move throughout your week, I challenge you to give yourself permission to show up for the life that you want. And it will be through acts of love and compassion. Little tiny choices end up making the biggest impact every day when you keep promises to yourself, when you decide that you are worth taking the risk, and even if you feel like you're going to make a fool of yourself or you don't know how to move forward, ask your heart, what's next? It's not necessarily the why, or the how comes when you're ready for that new information. It's just, what's next? What is my next small action? And those tiny steps, those moments where we listen to those instructions and follow directions, we build trust. Trust in ourselves, trust in the moment, trusting that we are divine beings having this human experience, and trusting that we can manifest and co-create what we need when we need it. And if we don't have it, we're not ready for it yet. We're still in resistance and working something out. So if you feel like you're coming up against a block and not able to get the life that you want, or not able to experience the moments that you want, or feel the way that you want to feel, you're out of alignment. Give yourself permission to get back into alignment with the divine. Practice keeping your promises and showing up for yourself. You're worthy. You're ready. And together, we can do this. Highlight of my week. I love spending time with you. Please join Jill tonight at 10 live. Sending you ease and grace. Bye, everyone.